video you're about to watch was generated for entertainment purposes. Therefore, any pictures or videos you see does not belong to me. They belong to their respective owners. Thank you. The story of the great emperor Ashoka begins with the love story of Bindusar and Dharma. Hey there, welcome to Blaster Series YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about the full summary of Emperor Ashoka, also known as Ashokasamrat. Before we continue, make sure you please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to get notified anytime we post new videos. And don't forget to log on to our website www.blasterseries.com for the fastest update. If you're done subscribing, let's start.
Ashoka is a young boy who lives with his mother in a hamlet. Chanakya spots Ashoka on the streets of Magadha and gets to know about his true identity, but promises Dharma to keep it a secret from Ashoka and Bindusara. Chanakya, along with his disciple Radhagupta, takes them to Pataliputra and Dharma becomes a royal physician. Ashoka starts by working as a horsekeeper and on numerous occasions, he impresses Bindusara and they both develop a bond, which is despised by Bindusara's eldest son Sushama, his mother Charumitra, Mirkarazan, Helena and her son Justin. Sushama and Ashoka are always at loggerheads and Sushama conspires against Ashoka many times, but every time, Ashoka manages to escape. One day, Dharma is attacked by some men, who succeed in killing her on her way to the forest. And everyone believes it to be the work of a tiger. Ashoka is devastated by this incident but Bindusara consoles him, and spends time with him. It is later revealed that Dharma is still alive as Chanakya saw the attack coming and therefore replaced Dharma with one of his spies. On Chanakya's suggestion, Bindusara admits Ashoka to the royal school of Magadha. Ashoka has a hard time initially and is harassed by Sushama and his associates, but is comforted by Bindusara's third son Siyamak and Acharya Akramak, the martial arts instructor. Akramak trains Ashoka in warfare and Ashoka then decides to take part in the annual competition of Magadha's best warrior. After overcoming all odds and injustice and after an intense, elaborate competition with Sushama and the other children at the Royal College of Magadha, Ashoka emerges victorious. Sushama is being attacked by a tiger and Ashoka rushes to save him, only to be cheated by Sushama who steals the sword of Chandragupta Maurya which the winner is supposed to take to the finish line. Ashoka is heartbroken and dejected but Bindusara is still impressed by his performance. Bindusara, after seeing Sushama's victory, decides to make him the crown prince. Ashoka confides in Chanakya and Chanakya stops Sushama's coronation at the last minute. Bindusara strips Sushama of his sword after he insults and threatens to kill Chanakya. Ashoka is then united with Dharma, who consoles him. Meanwhile, Helena, with her father Seleucus Nicator and the king of Ujjain hatch a plot to kill off Bindusara's family. Their chosen method is to burn down a wax house with their victims inside, during Justin's wedding with the princess of Ujjain. Chanakya realizes the conspiracy but gets kidnapped. Ashoka then finds a secret tunnel and after entering it, reaches the wax house and saves Chanakya. After learning about the conspiracy, he uses his sharp mind and strength to defeat the enemy's attack and creates a safe pathway for the royal family till they reach the tunnel used by the enemy to escape, thus saving the royal family. As a reward for Ashoka's strength, bravery, and presence of mind, Bindusara awards him the sword of Chandragupta Maurya and appoints him as his personal bodyguard. He catches the king of Ujjain and presents him before Bindusara, who decrees the death penalty but Justin in order to save his mother sacrifices his life. And it is later unrevealed that Siyamak, grandson of Mirkarazan, is Justin and Noor's son. Ashoka eventually learns about his birth and true father, from an astrologer in his birthplace. With the help of Chanakya, he devises a plan to expose Mirkarazan who had tried to kill Dharma earlier, and reveal the truth to Bindusara. They succeed, and Mirkarazan is arrested. Dharma requests Bindusara to spare the life of Mirkarazan. Bindusara accepts Dharma and Ashoka, and they start living happily. Bindusara and Chanakya decide to test the princes by engaging them in intense political debate. Ashoka, who has no experience in the field, still impresses everyone with his answers but eventually loses to Sushama. Since Bindusara has to go on an important conquest, he makes Sushama the regent in his absence. Sushima, along with his mother Charumitra, is brutal in his ways and flips the kingdom upside down, tortures his subjects and mercilessly harasses his fiancée and his former love interest Ahankara, princess of Ujjain. He also brutally mistreats and torments Ashoka and Dharma. Earlier Shushima was in love with Ahankara, but due to being a daughter of a culprit he decides to marry her. And being a husband he will treat her like animals whole life, which discovers to Ashoka. To put an end to his tyranny, Ashoka dresses up as a warrior Agradhut and secretly protects the people. Sushima finds out Agradhut's true identity and uses Agradhut's lookalike to taint Ashoka's image in front of the public. A drunk Sushima one day harasses Ahankara both mentally and physically, nearly killing her brother for his refusal to accept his proposal for marriage to her. However, her brother is saved by Agradhut. Sushima and Agradhut engage in a fierce battle, but Sushima is severely wounded in the process and falls unconscious. He suddenly wakes up and charges at Agradhut from behind, but Ahankara, to save Agradhut, accidentally shoves a dagger through Sushima's stomach and wounds him. Bindusara just arrives and sees this, but Ashoka takes the blame to protect Ahankara and gets arrested. Chanakya realizes the truth and arrives in time to give justice to both Ashoka and Ahankara. Ahankara's marriage with Sushima is called off. She stays with her brother in Patliputra in a new palace. Sushima is treated by Dharma, who saves his life. Meanwhile, Noor escapes from the palace and goes to her ex-lover Dastan, a Kharazani warrior. The duo invades Magadha and holds the royal family as their prisoners. Just as Noor is about to kill Dharma, Ashoka arrives and defeats Dastan and accidentally kills Noor, leaving Siyamak dejected. Dastan gets imprisoned but escapes with Mir Kharazan. Chanakya finds out about the incidents that took place and then blackmails Sushima and Charumitra, threatening to expose everything they did in Bindusara's absence if they refused to stop harassing Ashoka's family. At this time, all the enemies of Ashoka, including Sushima, his mother, Helena, Siyamak, who wants to avenge his mother, and Prime Minister Kaladak, who all want the throne badly, decide to team up to kill Chanakya in an abandoned house and frame Dastan for his death. Ashoka is emotionally shattered and vows to catch the murderers and slay them. He finds Dastan and kills him, but a dying Dastan reveals that he had nothing to do with Chanakya's killing and the true culprits are still roaming freely. After performing Chanakya's last rites, Ashoka is sent to Takshashila to suppress a massive revolt and tyranny of Kikuk, a former warrior in the Magadha army who had betrayed Bindusara and Chanakya. Kikuk has now built a huge army, and after capturing Takshashila, and he tortures the people and mercilessly kills them. He has plans to attack Magadha and become the emperor. After a long period of struggles and sacrifices, Ashoka emerges victorious, slays Kikuk publicly, and frees Takshashila from Kikuk's tyranny. In the process, he falls in love with Kaurwaki, the princess of Kalinga, who accompanies him in his mission to free her father Jagannath, who was Kikuk's prisoner. On his arrival in Pataliputra, Ashoka is declared the heir to Bindusara's throne, much to the dismay of Sushima. Together with his mother, using black magic, Sushima destroys Dharma and Ashoka's relationship with Bindusara, and subsequently, an pre-planned invasion of Pataliputra is carried out by Mir Kharazan and Seleucus with the help of Helena. They capture the palace of Bindusara and hold him captive. But again, Ashoka uses his quick thinking and powers to rescue Bindusara and defeat Mir Kharazan and Seleucus. An angry Sushima murders them before Ashoka can present them to Bindusara. Sushima thus steals credit for the victory and impresses everyone. Seleucus' daughter Helena is arrested. One day, while in prison, Helena reveals to Ashoka the murderers of Chanakya and fakes a suicide. Ashoka, in a fit of rage, goes on a killing spree and stabs Sushima in front of Bindusara. He proceeds to kill everyone involved in Chanakya's killing but is chained heavily and thrown behind bars. Bindusara is extremely disgusted by Ashoka's actions and decides to abandon him. Ashoka is banished. Dharma and her newborn son Vidishoka, VIT, accompany him to Ujjain, and Ashoka vows to come back stronger and avenge Chanakya's death. 10 years later. Here is the end of the part 1 of the full story summary of Emperor Ashoka. Part 2 continues next week. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.